I'm Greg Owen, motorcyclist and lawyer. I've been riding, racing, building, and collecting motorcycles for the past 40 years. During my time as a professional motocross racer in the 70s, I decided to give up my racing career and become a lawyer. I did that to help other riders who had nowhere else to turn. Over the course of my 30-year career, I've represented hundreds of injured clients and resolved their cases for more than $900 million. My goal is to tell the history of motorcycling in America, one bike and one rider at a time. We've moved all the way down to the end of your booth, and we almost forgot about this motorcycle, but we have to talk about it. I see the old V-Twin, I say beautiful paint. You got to explain the story.
All right, this is a second bike that I acquired. It was built again by a world-famous engine builder, George Hood. George built this bike for his neighbor, Hank. Believe it or not, it has early 30s VL paint scheme, but this is a 1929 JD Twin. And it's designed as a rider. And the reason I wanted to point this out to you, actually has a VL front end on it.
What does that mean? What does VL mean?
VL is a make in the early 30s. And the springs, now you see how the springs are on the outside of the front?
I do, I see that.
Okay. This was an improvement from the internal smaller forks. Actually, the girth of this, the size of the bike is larger, it weighs more, and more than the earlier bikes. So they had to reinforce and design the front ends to be able to carry a little bit more weight. It also has the package tray.
I see that.
Larger solo seat on it.
I see that.
Okay.
Now, is that seat suspended? Oh, that's spring loaded, isn't it?
It is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
And, well, this motorcycle looks like a bike you want to ride, like ride far.
All right, well, you want to hear a story about this one?
I do.
The public may not be familiar with what's called the Cannonball Run, which was a race across the country from New York to Santa Monica.
Come on, Burt Reynolds.
Well, that was actually a car race.
Ah, that's right.
But this is a motorcycle race.
There was a 750 Kawasaki in that triple.
Well, the true motorcycle Cannonball Run was all Harley-Davidsons.
It was?
Okay, supposed to be.
When did it start?
It was last year,
Uh-huh.
and they raced across the country. This bike, we're just about ready to make a commitment to enter it in the 2012 Cannonball Run, and this is a bike you could ride to New York.
Really?
And we're going to prove it, because we're going to enter this bike. You asked me a few minutes ago if I ride it or would be the rider of it. To answer your question, no. We're going to put a ringer on here. It's a 100-pound friend of mine. Okay. And the guy that built this motor, George Hood, is going to be our mechanic.
Fantastic.
We're going to bring the rig as the follow emergency recovery rig to do all the repairs in case it does break down. And we're actually going to enter this thing to try to win it.
I love. Now, what are the rules? Is it as fast as you can get there? Is it a time trial? What is it?
It is just that. It's a time trial. You cannot get a ticket. You have to start and stop and ride the bike that you enter. You can't have a replacement. You're allowed to make any necessary repairs. Okay. The rules are a little, willy-nilly in the sense that they want everybody to try to finish.
I got it.
They don't want you to kill yourself.
I got it.
They don't want you to hurt someone else on the public.
You're avoiding my question. You're avoiding my question. Okay. All right. I understand it's a time trial. But, for example, if you go faster than the speed limit and you don't get a ticket, is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. So it really is a race.
It is a
Even
race.
though they want to say it.
Well, it is absolutely a race.
Okay. Okay. Well, this bike, I mean, if you don't have a CHP with a radar, what will it do top end?
This bike's been hopped up a little bit. This probably has a cruising speed of about 65, which was fast
Yeah,
for this
really
era.
fast, really fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to put it in front of you. You got a great rider who's light. You're going to have your incredible rig. I'm assuming with this mechanic, you're going to have what you need to rebuild it if you need to.
Every part necessary.
Right. Well, I think I'm going to put my money on you this year.
That'd be a good bet.
Thank you again, my friend.
Yeah.